Hello there and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel Ray and today I'm going to teach you how to read a cross stitch pattern and begin it. So today's pattern is actually given to us by Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett of Bendy Stitchy Designs. Thank you so much, Michelle, for offering this pattern for us to study from. Some of the pattern is blocked out for obvious reasons, but if you love this pattern as much as I do, please check out her store, which I will have linked down below. I've made a few adjustments, but we will get there in just a moment. So how do you read a cross stitch pattern? It starts like this. You get a printout of the pattern, or you might be using a digital copy. And at the top, you're going to have the pattern itself. And I've blocked out most of this pattern for obvious reasons. If you like this pattern, please buy it. And at the bottom, you will have details about the pattern. Now, what I would recommend is have a look at this information. First, I'll put a screenshot so that it's clear here on the screen. On the left-hand side, we have the numbers of DMC floss that you need, and there are other floss types listed just below that. You don't have to use the exact colors. You can go off and choose colors of your own, or colors that are really similar if you don't have them in stash. But if you're starting brand new, I would recommend following the pattern just to make it more simple. So you can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors in total. And underneath that it says, stitch Hilda's wand and the spider legs and web in one strand of DMC 310. That means since we have this back stitching, I would recommend that you stitch this with either 2 strands over 2 or 1 strand over 2, depending on your fabric count. And if you want to learn more about that, have a look at the previous video I made for this cross stitching series. On the right side, it says that the fabric that she's used is 32 count. Picture this plus in the color Echo. I've actually substituted the fabric and I've chosen from my stash a 28 count March 2020 limited edition from the Crafty Kitten. The finished size, she tells you, is approximately 5.5 or 5 by 4, 5 inches wide and 4 inches high, and how to tag her on social media. So coming back to this, I'm going to show you what I did. So I had this 28 count in my stash, like I was saying, and I just double checked it to make sure that it would work. If I measure this piece is almost 13 inches by 9 inches. So that's plenty of space to give me some margin to work with. I use Q-snaps a lot, so I'm going to pop this into the Q-snap. And now we have it into the Q-snap. Some people have asked me why I place the fabric into my Q-snap in this direction. This is called stitching in the well, or stitching in the ditch. And I do this because it's easier for me to run the finished thread underneath, or run the excess thread underneath the finished threads on the back side without, you know, if it's closer to the edge, then I don't have to worry about burying that thread. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am going to stick this onto my stand right here, and we are going to get started. Just a little more FYI, I'm using Bowen needles in size 26 for 28 count fabric. And once you've centered the fabric, you don't have to use a Q-snap, but I would recommend having some sort of hoop or frame. Then you want to find the center point in your Q-snap. So for this design, it's quite small, so you know you might not need to do this. Normally I actually take a needle and put it there, but I didn't for this one. This is 6 by 6, which means that our center is right here. I'm going to go ahead and just put a needle here to mark it, and then we're going to look at our pattern again. The way that you start is always in the middle. So what you want to do is you want to follow the arrows from the top to the middle and from the side to the middle. And so our middle point on this chart is actually this white square right here. So I'm going to move down one square since it's close enough, and I'm going to start right here with the symbol, and this arrow is number 319. That's the color that I need. Like I was saying about colors, I've actually had to substitute a few of the colors, and some of them I wanted to substitute, like this beautiful DMC 823 Etoile for her dress. But we're going to start with our hair. I'm going to use the loop start method to begin this piece because the areas on here that need starting, especially in the center, there's nothing to anchor from. So I'm going to put the little piece of pattern up here so that you can watch me complete it. Each box on this chart represents a cross stitch, just a plain cross stitch. So I'm following the arrows that represent this color, and I'm going to complete all of the ones that I see in this area before moving on to the next color, which is represented by a different kind of symbol. So just keep following the arrows until you run out, and then you're going to find the next color and just repeat that process over and over till it's finished. So there we go. We have completed all of the symbols for Hildy's hair. And from here, I like to find an adjoining color and then start working on that color so that I don't have to count too far away from my original stitches. I'm just working on layers and layers and layers of the figure as we go. So I hope that this video has helped you to learn how to read a pattern. This is just the basic cross stitching, but come back for more. I plan on doing more in this series to help you identify backstitching, fractionals, and other things as we come across them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it helped, and if you think it did, please share this with someone that you know who may need some help with cross stitching. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye!